of launch, if I'm not wrong, last year, like Tata Neu amassed about 7 million plus downloads or customers. How has been the journey so far? And talk to us about the evolution and the learnings, because it's a very challenging problem statement. Because I understand all the Tata Group businesses operate quite independently, and you're taking a tough problem to kind of bring all of them together, and want to offer a very good experience, right? So what are some of the learnings and how has the evolution been?
So, so we launched last IPL, and we are in this IPL, and we have launched a new version recently. We will probably start our marketing campaigns next week in much more bigger, larger way. See, when we launched any such large platform, right, it is built on certain very key beliefs and hypotheses, right? Because that's where the product market fit happens. So what was the hypothesis that we built under? And I'll answer your question to the learnings because it's related, right? And that's the journey.
Yep.
So, number one, the super app should be the destination for everybody to come in. So what does it mean? It means that we should have enough reasons for a customer not to go to somewhere else. That means if he is finding some other app to find something else, that means we are not satisfying what the customer wants. So our first philosophy was that we wanted to be the destination for all the things that a customer does in a day. It's an evolution. Obviously, we have only launched with some. We have not launched with full. But that's the number one. And I'll talk about it slowly. The second one was, and probably the most important one, and it is not visible yet because it's a work in progress, is so when you get 100 million customers and their data into one place and build a single view of customer, right? You build it. You can do wonders with that. So that's the second hypothesis that we built with, that data will be our single biggest proposition to offer any consumer a very contextual, personalized experience. Now, and each one of them I'll come where we are, right? Because it's only 1 year, so it will take us some time to get to what the ultimate vision of all of this is. Third is, there has to be a reason for people to come back to the app every day. Most important. That you get up in the morning and you open the app for something, right? Today, in most of the other apps, the reason is they have probably the largest selection of categories or largest choices that they give. So our belief and proposition was that, so we call it our New Pass program.
Yep.
So New Pass is a product, is a well-crafted product, and this was probably one of our most hardest jobs, to fold all loyalty programs of every Tata Group into one program and identify the customer at every touch point, every channel, every place, uniquely. So suddenly a lot of customers said that I opened Tata Neu and I suddenly find 10,000 points because we have moved 5,000 points from Taj, 2,000 points from Titan, and all of that into one place. It was a humongous job. But that is I can't talk a lot more on New Pass today, but that to me is our biggest bet on what we want to do as probably one of the most innovative and loyalty programs that we'll run. The last one is, we exist in an ecosystem. We are not only an app, and that's a very important realization. we exist with all the other Tata brands. If it was a single app, we would have done it differently. It is not a single app because we exist in an ecosystem of Taj, Air India, Air Asia, Titan, Tanishq, Chroma, Big Basket, 1MG, Tata Consumer Products, name it. So we have to grow that ecosystem. So it is not growth of Tata New App, it's also growth of the entire ecosystem. So there are the 4 principles on which this whole thing was built. I think on the first one, we have achieved some amount of success. I can't give the numbers today, but there is a significant number of customers who are coming to us for shopping more than 3 categories to us, which means that they are taking a personal loan, they are buying from Big Basket, and they're also booking in Air Asia or Air India. So there's a significant number of customers who are coming, which is what our dream and vision is ultimately. On the second one, on the data side, it's a huge journey, and obviously we'll engage with you also in that journey. And that journey probably, this year will be about that journey. And other ones are pretty much work in progress. See, the learnings are very important. First learning is, and when you launch a program, such a large platform at scale, which is our huge scale, right? We are not a startup. You have to be very, very focused on lean and efficiency. Because when you launch a business at scale like this, you can very easily build a very inefficient, large, bloated organization. Non-agile, non-fast. And the pitfalls of it are a lot of things, right? So my first learning has to be that it doesn't matter that you have a huge scale. You should always be lean and efficient, whether you're small or big. The second one is, I think we have to get the principles right. We always call 2 metrics. We always call scale metrics and shape metrics. There are things that determine the shape of the customer funnel. There are things that determine the scale of the customer funnel. If you build the business in a way where the shape is distorted, very soon you will be spending money, which is not the right way to spend money, right? So I think the most important learning is whatever happens, there can be huge pressure from the market, expectation. We should not take our eyes off from the shape and the scale. Scale is important, shape is equally important or more important than scale, I will say. And shape means organic, inorganic, paid, all of that comes in the shape, right? I think the third is, which is also a learning. See, when you launch a lot of those things, right? You have taken some big bets, and product market fit is important for things like new pass and all, right? It takes time. It takes time. It is not going to happen overnight. So I think the most important lesson is we have to be long-term patient sometimes. And we say short-term aggression, right? So I think that's a very important one. Even if product market fit doesn't happen in 2 quarters, we have to be at it sometime. You can fine-tune it. You can that. The third, which is fourth, which is very important for us learning is, see, Tata Group has a lot of offline customers. 90% are offline customers. Of this 100 million, I said a lot of offline. Migrating an offline customer into an online customer is not easy, by the way. It's a very difficult job. A guy who is very used to go to a Chroma store to buy, for him to change an habit and come to online is the most difficult job. It's an habit forming. We have to influence and change the habit of that customer, right? A guy who goes to Taj and always pay at hotel, he's not going to use your whatever payment instruments you give him to pay it online. So the change in the behavior and the habits of these customers takes time. We say all are digitally savvy, it is not so. Yes, digitally savvy to watch content. It doesn't mean that digitally savvy to do many other things. So I think those are the learnings that I will say are at a high level.
Makes sense, Pratik.